If you've ever watched any of my content, you are aware of my critique of black Democrats. Anywhere in America, any major city, any smaller city, medium sized, wherever you live in the country, if you live in a black ran Democrat city, especially some of these major cities like um, Birmingham, Atlanta, maybe a Chicago's not exactly black ran. It's kind of mixed. It's a lot of Hispanics. It's a lot of whites. It's a mixture. But the black Democrats in these cities, Detroit, right, Baltimore, right, these are the most violent, most dysfunctional, most poorly ran places in the country. And in my hometown, I have more drama to report about the ongoing chaos at Fulton County Jail, aka Rice Street. We just had another stabbing. The inmate was rushed to the hospital. And as you see in these next couple of clips I'm going to show you, the conditions are so bad that it's actually not even suitable for animals to live in this jail. You are literally putting your life on the line if you get arrested in Fulton County, Georgia. You can literally lose your life in this jail. And it's not just Fulton County jails, other jails and prisons across the country that are short staffed. The jails are in poor condition. They need a lot of work. They need more bodies in there that work for the jails, that work for the prisons to control the inmates. But between the incompetency, the lack of order, the deterioration of the jail itself, it's mold, it's water getting in there when it rains. It's just so much going on, and we spend so much money on unnecessary stuff in this country. If you don't break the law, obviously you don't go to jail, and every now and then you might get arrested wrongfully. There are inmates in jail that are innocent, and I don't agree with that at all. But it's just ridiculous. And like I said, the black Democrat politicians, they have been knowing about this issue for a long time. We've had black mayors in Atlanta. We've had black county commissioners, most of them. We've had black police chiefs. We got a black district attorney. We got a black sheriff. And look at what's going on right now.
New tonight at 11, an inmate is in the hospital as we speak after an attack inside a cell at the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street. The attack comes just a couple of weeks after the sheriff's office entered a court order agreement with the United States Justice Department, or the DOJ, to improve safety and living conditions at the jail. The agreement followed a 16-month-long investigation by the DOJ that found conditions were unconstitutional, unlawful, and dangerous. 11 Live's Cody Alcorn live tonight in Atlanta from the Fulton County Jail. So, Cody, what do we know about this latest attack?
Well, Ron, we know that this attack was captured on video by a cell phone smuggled into the jail. This morning, the inmate's mother actually reached out to me after this video was loaded onto social media and sent to her. She was trying to get a hold of the sheriff's office, was getting nowhere, so she turned to 11 Alive. In that video, what it shows is a shank in one of the inmate's hands and at least 3 other inmates stomping on the inmate's head. The attack too violent to show.
I saw that knife too, and I heard my son screaming. And now he's in the hospital, so there was a knife.
The Fulton County Sheriff's Office confirming the attack but denying Malik Jones was stabbed. His mom worried her son will never see his day in court.
They're going to finish what they started.
Jones was booked on Saturday, charged with murder, accused of killing a man inside this apartment complex along Cheshire Bridge Road. Atlanta police say the call came in just before 8 a.m.
It was a shock. It was a shock. 7 o'clock in the morning. He's not even a morning person. So that was definitely a shock. For him to even be in an environment like that.
saying her son, who's from St. Charles, Maryland, has only been in Metro Atlanta for a few months.
He's been down there trying to chase his music career. He tried to call me once yesterday. The last I spoke to him, he was, doing some music stuff.
However, she has no idea what happened on Saturday morning here in Northeast Atlanta.
As a parent, I feel for both sides. I honestly don't know my son's side, and I don't believe that my son would do anything like that. And I feel for the family who lost their son as well. I mourn and I sympathize with them.
All
right, so there you have it. I don't know what's going to be the outcome for that particular case, but the Fulton County Jail was built in 1989. It had a capacity when it opened of 1,125 inmates, but it regularly tops 3,000. And like I said, the overcrowding is a major issue. This photo is just disgusting. I don't even like looking at it. It's just disgusting. And like I said, these are inmates that are not able to pay their bond. They're waiting to get a bond hearing, etc., etc. We all know that jail is not your final destination. If you get charged with a crime, either you're going to get found innocent and get let out, or the charges get dropped. You get out on bond until you have your day in court. You know how it goes. I've been to Fulton County Jail before, okay, but this was years ago when I was in my wild phase, and I got right out. I had a signature bond. It wasn't as bad as it is now. It wasn't all these stabbings going on. But the Department of Justice did a report last year, and the woman who gave the report said there were over 300 stabbings in one single year, 314 to be exact. That's almost one stabbing every single day.
But first tonight, unconstitutional, unlawful, and dangerous.
In 2023 alone, we identified 314 stabbings and more than 1,000 assaults.
What a new Department of Justice report reveals about conditions inside the Fulton County Jail and how county leaders are responding.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. Tonight, the Fulton County Sheriff and the Fulton County Commission Chair say it's time to look forward, not backward, as they continue to make changes and improvements at the jail.
So this comes in response to a scathing report from the Department of Justice. The report found inadequate staffing, a lack of food, unsanitary conditions, a lack of mental and medical care, and evidence of hundreds of stabbings and thousands of assaults.
Detention in the Fulton County Jail has amounted to a death sentence for dozens of people who have been murdered or who died as a result of the atrocious conditions inside the facility.
Now, despite the report tonight, county leaders are expressing some optimism, saying that they've made progress at the jail with more work to come. 11
Alive's Angelina Salcido is live tonight from the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street. And Angelina, you spoke to a man who had firsthand experience inside those walls. What does he say tonight?
Well, Ladavius McNair spoke to us last week after he was released from here for being wrongly arrested. He says that the experience that he felt in here was traumatic and completely changed his life. Sheriff Labatt and Chairman Pitts say that they continue outsourcing to decrease the population. They also continue to train the staff and are working on structural fixes. But tonight, the question that still lingers is all of that enough?
30 days. 30 days.
It didn't take much time.
What I realized was that Rice Street location is pretty intense.
Ladavius McNair knows firsthand what life behind these walls is like. The 32-year-old just released November 1st after a judge ruled he was wrongly arrested by Atlanta police.
Inmates are really going through a lot of things in there.
He says it felt like he had no rights.
I ate rice and 2 slices of bread for dinner. I've been denied water. They say, you don't deserve water. Water's a privilege. I've seen inmates literally taking their cup, dipping it in the toilet and drinking the water. People getting jumped, people getting shanked, people are getting raped.
For him, every day was a fight.
How do I survive this? Because I don't want to die in here.
But despite his experience in the DOJ's report,
we are certainly in a space now that we are happy that it has come out.
I'm excited about where we are and believe that we're headed in the right direction.
Both Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labat and Chairman Rob Pitts say they're happy with the improvements made to the jail so far and their plan for its future.
We will have to comply with whatever the Justice Department recommends, and that's what we're in the process of doing now.
When it comes to the question of getting a new building,
We are going to work with the facility we have.
So it takes the federal government stepping in to tell y'all that y'all got a problem with this jail. And did you hear what that young brother said, the 32-year-old brother? This happened last November with the young man who said that they denied him water. They told him that water was a privilege. Really? Water, which is the most important necessity for human life. There is no life without water. You have to have water. Now, I don't know if he just asked for some water randomly, or I don't know what he's referring to, but jail food is trash. That's one of the main reasons why I know I can't go to prison, because I like to eat, and I like to eat real food. I like to cook. And while I'm on that subject, y'all go to my other channel, The Real King Andre. The Real King Andre. That's my channel. It's nothing but food, travel, fitness, and I'm gonna be putting up some of my music later on. Ain't gonna be nothing political or no ratchet, crazy stuff I'll be putting on this channel. It's gonna be a totally different channel. I only got 6 subscribers so far, so y'all go help me run that channel up. And y'all will like my recipes. I be cooking all kind of good food. And I be doing restaurant reviews too. I'm gonna blow that channel up. And y'all gotta help me. But anyway, back to what we talking about. That's crazy, bro. He said he saw inmates dipping their cups in the toilet. In the toilet, bro. That's insane. That's asinine. That's ridiculous. That's disgusting. That's dangerous. Drinking out of a nasty toilet that's been peed in and doodled in for years, for decades. These toilets been there since the jail was built. And inmates drinking out of a toilet? And this is what y'all do. Y'all vote blue no matter who, but let's continue.
Now, Sheriff Labat says that they are focused on making systemic and structural fixes with the $300 million that was just approved by the Board of Commissioners here in Fulton County. Now, to be clear here, neither the chair or the sheriff actually read the DOJ's report in its entirety before speaking about it today, but they said that they plan to. They are viewing this report as a step for them to make movements forward. We're live in Atlanta. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
This is what happens when you just vote based on skin color. And we know one of the biggest issues with voting in the black community is black men, masculine heterosexual black men. A lot of us don't vote. We can't continue to not vote. You get district attorneys like Fani Willis. We all know about the drama she had going on last year that came out about her screwing the judge she appointed who wasn't qualified. Right? You focused on prosecuting Trump and Young Thug, but you got thousands of cases in the backlog. That's why your jail's so overcrowded, because you ain't getting them inmates processed fast enough. You ain't getting them court dates and stuff. And then that's the sheriff, Patrick Labat. They call him Patrick Labutt. He's very incompetent. This is the same sheriff that did a LGBT sitcom years ago where he played a gay man. But y'all can go do the research and find it yourself. But it's just unacceptable what's happening. And most of the victims that are being stabbed up, that are having their lives ruined, that are being treated worse than animals, wild animals, are black people, specifically black men. And this is what we continue to vote for.
More turmoil at the Fulton County Jail. A former inmate says he is now blind after being stabbed in the eye while in the county's custody.
Well, the sheriff's office contests that, saying a fight did happen, but no weapons were used. The question tonight: where were the guards? Only on Atlanta News First, reporter Patrick Quinn spoke with Jason Foster from his hospital bed. Patrick, how is he doing tonight?
Well, as you can imagine, Tracy, he's struggling. He says he's battling depression. He now has to learn how to live blind. He has to learn how to use a walking stick. He said he was booked into jail in October at the Fulton County Jail, and he had one good eye. He said while in jail, he was stabbed by an inmate in that good eye all over a fight over a peanut butter sandwich. We were able to talk with Jason today as he's still recovering at Grady Memorial Hospital. And yes, he is struggling through this incident. We spoke with him today. He said this all happened November 18th at the jail, and he was stabbed by another inmate. According to last month's Department of Justice report, there were 314 stabbings at the Fulton County Jail last year alone. Foster admitted to fighting another inmate in an open area of the jail while other residents watched on. He tried to escape, and that's when he said another inmate stabbed him with what he believes was a makeshift shank.
He said, "No, man, it ain't over with," and came back in there and stabbed me in my good eye. And then I couldn't see nothing. The security, he said he was on lunch, and wasn't nobody else there.
And Foster, he was booked into jail on simple battery charges. He has since been released. Now, I was able here at the Fulton County Government Center to track down Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt. I asked him about this incident. He said there was no stabbing. They're still investigating. He said there were no weapons found. He says he's committed to a safe and secure facility. And in terms of where were the guards, well, at Fulton County Jail, they have a situation there where it's set up and they use an internal watchtower. So they said when they saw a fight break out, they alerted jail staff. They said they responded promptly. Live tonight from downtown Atlanta, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Poor old man. Now he's blind because he got stabbed up in the jail. Only had one good eye. Now he has no good eyes. Inmates sleeping on the floor. Y'all, they even had a drone. They was having people was flying drones to drop paraphernalia, drugs. They was dropping crack and weed and crack pipes and all kind of stuff, man. This is just one raid they did inside the jail where they confiscated. These are all shanks. These are just shanks. I think it might be a couple of crack pipes mixed in too. But yeah, they breaking pieces of metal off the jail, inside the jail, and using them as shanks. That's how so many people getting stabbed up. So inadequate staffing and not enough food. They not giving inmates water when they want water. It's just absolutely atrocious what's going on in this jail, and it's ran by Negroes, Democrat Negroes. The elder blacks been voting blue for so long. That's in their blood. 95% of the elder blacks 60 and up voted for Kamala Harris. 95%. Fonnie Willis won over 65% of the vote for the Fulton County District Attorney re-election race. The Republican only got 30-something%. So y'all keep voting for these people. This is an inmate who got eaten to death by bed bugs. That was his body when they found him. He was eaten alive by bed bugs. He was constantly getting ate up by bed bugs. But y'all love this. Y'all love it. And just to give you some context, you don't hear about these stories out of the suburban Atlanta counties. When you go to like Cobb or Gwinnett, even some of the black ran counties that are on the outskirts of Atlanta, you know, Douglas County, DeKalb County, which is to the east, it's a big county. And they have a lot of problems in DeKalb County jail as well. But it's not quite as bad as Fulton County. You don't have the homicides and the stabbings and these issues when it comes to inadequate food and water. But they're not run as good as the northern suburbs. But it's areas around Metro Atlanta and around the country that's ran by black folks that are wealthier, like in the D.C. area, Houston, Dallas, where you got a lot of black folks. You got some areas that's run pretty well. But when you compare the black-run communities to the white or the Asian specifically, because those are the two highest earning demographics, they tend to underperform the white and Asian communities. Hispanic communities, they're slightly more functional than black communities, but just because we don't have the income they have does not mean that we have to be content with inadequate services. It doesn't mean we have to be content with dysfunction and destruction like we're seeing. Only masculine, conservative black male leadership can fix this crisis. And that, like I said, that's the only way we're going to get out of this. In the black community across this country, no matter where you live, we all know where the black folks is at. We all know the metropolitan areas where we live. The smaller, whiter, Hispanic, or even if you live in a major metropolitan area out west. I just came from the west. Like LA, Vegas, Phoenix, those areas are mostly Hispanic and white. with a little bit of Asian sprinkled in. And you got a little bit of black folks too. But outside of California and Vegas and Phoenix, there's not a lot of black folks in the West. Seattle, Denver, those areas you don't really have a lot of black leadership because there's not a lot of us out there. But the rest of the country, the Midwest, the South, especially the South, because that's where 60% of us live. The East Coast, Philly, New York, Jersey, yeah, all them places. Newark, like I said, Philly, Milwaukee, Cleveland, all these places. Yeah, bro, like we masculine heterosexual black men, we the only way. Because the black female leadership, they're just going to do what they get told to do. The black male leadership, a lot of them the Democrat black men, a lot of them are sassy. A lot of them are LGBT or borderline LGBT. That's just what it is. Crying on national TV. Just selling their soul to the Democrat Party and doing whatever they're told. They don't care about black people, man. They don't care about our advancement. They only care about pushing the Democrat agenda. Oh, my kids is good. Let them ninjas suffer. That long as my kids ain't in that jail, long as my kinfolks ain't in that jail, long as my people good. That's what happens when these black Democrats get in office, and y'all keep on voting for it. And we complain about the condition of the black community. We complain about it. We got to stop killing each other. Oh, we got to stop this. Oh, we got to stop that. But whatever changes. In order to get something different, you got to do something different. So I ain't going to ramble on too much more, man. Like I said, masculine, conservative black men that's going to say enough is enough. We got to start holding these elected officials accountable. Start taking their jobs and doing it ourselves. Stop voting blue no matter who. And clean this shit up once and for all. And then we ain't got to worry about it no more. Like, I know a lot of black men that's handling their business like, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't want to get involved. I hear y'all when y'all say that, but it affects you too. And when I say that, Pookie comes to your neighborhood acting a fool. There was a situation in Rockdale County, Georgia, which is east of Atlanta, suburban county, about 3 years ago or so. A black male, and it's a mostly black county, very black county at this point, very Democrat county. And a black man had to lay down 3 young teenage black boys. Some of y'all that's from Atlanta or live here may have heard this story. 3 young black teenagers was laid down permanently, put to sleep. He came outside with his AR-15. Boom, 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 boom. All of them gone. And the question is, why did the black male have to lay them young teenage brothers down? Because they were trying to break into his home at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And the brother who laid them down, his mother lived with him. So he was just protecting his life, he was protecting his mother's life. And one of the little thugs had a gun. And yes, I'm calling them thugs because if you breaking into somebody's house at 3 in the morning, you a thug. They weren't coming over there to ask him to borrow no sugar or no milk. And you know what the black kinfolks was saying when they did the news report? Oh, he didn't have to kill him. He could have shot him in the leg or something. And I just looked at the TV screen and was like, y'all idiots. I don't care who you are. If you break into somebody's house at 2, 3 in the morning, you are literally playing Russian roulette with your life. You literally may be breaking into somebody's house for the last time, and rightfully so. That's what you deserve. It don't make no sense whatsoever. And we try to coddle these people. Why are we as black people so quick to try to coddle the victim? I'm sorry, to coddle the criminal. We should be coddling the victim. We should be having sympathy for the victim. This man was trying to protect his home, and he did. And they didn't interview him, of course. He wanted to keep his anonymity, and rightfully so. In cases like this happen, I remember an incident happened like this years ago in Detroit, Michigan. A black male had to put a young black male to sleep who was breaking into his home. It happens all the time. So, like I said, bro, we got to start raising better black kids. We got to start having better black leadership. It starts with leadership. And it starts with masculine conservative leadership. That's where it starts. The men are gonna have to start stepping up because, like I said, Pookie, he's everywhere. He's everywhere, and he believes he's unstoppable. And the female version of Pookie, the Shaniquas and Sharondas, they everywhere too. They make the quality of life bad for all black people. And then the black Democrats sell out. They make the quality of life bad for all black people. They know these problems that's going on in the black community, but they turn a blind eye to it as long as it don't affect them and their kids. If their kids was getting stabbed up in jail, I promise you things would change. But because it's not affecting them personally, they just turn a blind eye to it. And they know y'all gonna keep voting for them. So whenever y'all ready, man, pull up. I'm gonna do my part. I'm always ready to work. But y'all like y'all, share, y'all subscribe. And go to my other channel too. Peace.